No Man's Sky.
Cozy up and snuggle down. For tonight you explore the vastness of the known universe in No Man's Sky. You find yourself in a strange and odd place. It's not somewhere you've ever been before, and you don't recognize any of the trees or plants. The air smells and tastes different too, but you're not scared. Looking around you, you notice strange animals and can hear unfamiliar sounds. It doesn't take you long to realize you're on an alien planet. You look up to the sky and see a large moon and another smaller moon behind it. The sky, at least, is a familiar pink, and you're comforted in the knowledge that you're safe wherever you may be. You start to look for a hut, or a sign of a village, a road maybe, or something similar. But you're unable to see anything like that around you, so you start to walk in the direction of a small hill. From there, you hope to get a better view of the land ahead of you and try and come up with a plan of action. You're still not sure why you're there, but you're excited by the adventure. As you begin to walk up the hill, you notice a glowing orb in what appears to be a stone sculpture. It looks as though it's beckoning you. You curiously approach it, still slightly cautious. After all, this is an alien world and you don't want to take any chances. But you needn't have worried, for having examined it visually first, you place your hand on it. The orb's light dims, and in your mind, you hear an unfamiliar language which quickly turns into a phrase in a language that you do understand. "Welcome to Manuka," before repeating it in the original language you heard. The light fades, and the stone sculpture is quiet again. You try touching it again, but nothing happens. You head back towards the hill, hoping to find someone to talk to and fearing that you may have broken a special or important structure. Before you reach the top of the hill, you notice something sticking out of the strange and alien bushes. You can see that the ground around the bushes looks to have been scratched or smeared. You're so close to the top of the hill, but you notice you're able to still have an overview of the landscape from near this strange-looking thing. You approach, cautiously again, in fear that you may be approaching a home of some kind. Maybe it's a nest for the local wildlife, you think. As you get closer, you realize this isn't an animal or plant. It's a spacecraft. It seems to have been abandoned, but it looks like it's in an excellent condition other than a few scratches. After a closer look, you notice a panel from the side is missing. It looks as though it had a rough landing, and whoever or whatever had been flying it was keen to get out for whatever reason. You're delighted the cockpit's canopy is still closed, protecting the inside of the ship from the weather and the environment. You resolve to find the panel and start backtracking down the hill, following the upturned soil trail the spacecraft left behind. You suddenly remember, and you've been so distracted that you've completely forgotten to look over the hill to see if there was anyone to help. You make a note to check once you've had a look for the missing panel. Having looked as thoroughly as you can, you find nothing, so head back towards the spacecraft. As you get nearer, you notice something sticking out of a mound in the ground. You can't believe your luck. It's the missing panel you've been searching for. You grab it and race back to the spacecraft, carefully put it in place. Luckily, it doesn't need much moving, and as if by magic, it clicks itself into place. The spacecraft comes alive, and you jump into the cockpit, excited to explore the planet from the skies. You ascend and are able to see where you landed. You're surprised with how varied the landscape is and are mesmerized by the strange, towering plants that appear to form a forest. You fly over them gracefully and quietly, for your engine makes hardly any sound, it seems. As you continue to fly over the landscape, your computer makes a long beeping sound. You look down at what appears to be a radar of sorts. There is a word flashing on the screen, but you can't make it out. It seems to be in this strange alien language you'd heard before. Fearing that you may have run out of fuel, or that the spacecraft is more damaged than you expected it to be, you fly cautiously back to the surface. To your relief, as if reading your mind, and when you're closer to the ground than you feel comfortable with, the spacecraft lands itself. As you touch the ground, something dislodges between your legs. It's a helmet. Before you put it on, you realize that you're actually wearing a whole spacesuit of sorts. You must have been wearing it since the moment you appeared in this world, but in your excitement, you hadn't noticed it. The canopy of the cockpit opens and you jump out of the spacecraft with the helmet. You immediately put it on and it comes to life on its own. All of a sudden you can see information popping up on the screen in a language you understand. As you look around, your helmet highlights plants and minerals, giving you information on their composition and their use. You're able to see all the flora and fauna through your helmet's interface, as well as places of interest. You notice that there are other places of interest across the solar system you're in. Looking up to the sky, you can see icons identifying different points on different planets. You also notice a scan button on your suit. Pressing it releases a very small echo wave that scans the planet you're on very quickly. You notice that other than one more of those sculptures nearby, there is nothing here. You look up to the sky and see Space Station. You've never been to a space station before. so you decided to head there in hope of maybe meeting someone or something else. But before you head back to your spacecraft, you make your way to the last of the sculptures, hoping with your newfound helmet that you may learn something new. Like before, you place your hand on it and another sentence flashes in your mind, but this time it's clearer and it seems to have been translated by your helmet, as you'd suspected. This is a safe planet in a safe solar system. You'll find no trouble here. You feel safer now and head to your spacecraft with excitement and ready to leave this world. As the canopy closes, you instinctively look towards the space station you spotted earlier. It has moved in the sky, so it takes you a moment to figure out where it is again, and your helmet helps you locate it and lock its coordinates into the spacecraft's navigation system. You press the ignition button and the ship jerks up before smoothly moving forward. You notice a boost and start to climb out of the sky towards space. But you know you'll need more power to break through the atmosphere, so you press and hold a booster button, which you can now see thanks to your helmet. The spacecraft lurches forward. You're pushed back into your seat and your spacecraft climbs quickly through the clouds, the blue of the sky getting darker and darker as you finally break through the planet's mesosphere and then the thermosphere and finally the exosphere, the last layer of the atmosphere before space. As you enter the black of space, your engines quieten significantly. You remember that you don't need more thrust, as there's no friction or gravity in space. Carrying the speed from exiting the planet will be enough to keep you on track, flying silently and swiftly towards the space station. You can't believe you're in space again. It's quiet and it's peaceful. From here, you look behind you to the planet you've left. Its green and blue hue emanate into the darkness of space. Slowly, it disappears, and you notice a variety of other planets before your spacecraft automatically redirects itself to put you on course to the space station. You sit back and let the spacecraft do all the work as you admire asteroid belts and scan the planets on your heads-up display. Before you know it, you're on the approach to the space station. You're excited and fidget in your seat as the spacecraft starts to automatically dock. It pulls you into a vast tunnel and takes you deep, deep into the heart of this diamond-like structure. Within moments, your spacecraft has landed and you're clambering out of your cockpit. You're greeted by an alien who is half the size of you and has big, bulging eyes with a beak-like mouth. "You found my spacecraft," they say in their native language. Luckily, you understand them, thanks to the helmet. You nod, stepping back from the spacecraft. You know it must be a huge relief for this alien creature to see their beloved spacecraft again, so you step back, allowing them to inspect it. More aliens from the same kind seem to appear out of nowhere as the alien you met makes its way around the spacecraft. But there are other aliens too. One that looks like a monstrous towering beast, and a handful of what appear to be robot aliens. You're very confused, but you're not scared. The alien whose spacecraft you had managed to bring back waddles up to you. You can't tell if they're happy or if they're angry. Their face is hard to read as you've never seen anything like it before. But you needn't have worried, for as they approach, they hold out their hand, gesturing that they'd like to shake it. You put your hand out, and the surprisingly warm clasp opens some kind of mental link between you and the alien. "Thank you so much," you hear the voice in your helmet say. "I thought I'd been stuck here for a long time before I was able to go back to my planet on a different solar system. I've been away from my family for 3 star rotations of this solar system, which is around 5 Earth years. I am a trader, you see, and I've been stranded here since my spacecraft went missing on Manuka." You smile. You know what it's like to miss your family. You remember the times you went on trips with your school or were at a friend's house for sleepovers. You can't imagine not seeing your family for 5 years and are happy that you've helped find this alien spacecraft so that they can visit their family again. "Please," says the alien through your helmet, "let me take you wherever you need to go, anywhere in the galaxy." You politely decline, shaking your helmet-heavy head. "I can sense you're a little weary. Space travel is hard, especially for those that aren't used to it. Can I offer you my cabin on this space station? You'll have everything you need to recuperate." You nod enthusiastically. It would be good to get out of the spacesuit and helmet and into something a little less cumbersome, you think. The alien leads you through simply lit corridors to a vast room which opens automatically. Inside is a comfortable bed, a bathroom, and a window that spans the width of the room and looks out across the solar system. With little fuss and much excitement to finally get off the space station, the alien leaves you, telling you that you can stay for as long as you like. You wave and collapse into a comfortable armchair that looks out through the window. Although you'd like to explore more, you're too tired to even move to the bed. You watch for a while as spacecrafts arrive and leave the station. You recognize the spacecraft that you flew in leaving. You could swear you could see your new friend waving as they disappear into the darkness of space. You're tired now, warm and comfortable. You think back on the day's adventure. You can't believe you discovered a whole new planet, new life forms, and a new solar system. You wonder how much of the universe is still undiscovered and contemplate the different types of life forms that you'd never had considered before. Recalling the flora of Manuka, you can only start to imagine the varieties of life that exist across the universe. As you're carried away with your thoughts, your eyes get heavy. It's getting harder to keep them open, and you allow your eyes to rest, your eyelids shutting softly with each attempt to stay awake. You slowly drift in and out of dozing, content and happy, hoping your new friend is closer to home and their family. You slip away thinking of hugs and tears of joy as they reunited with their family. You feel a sense of pride as you finally fall asleep waiting for your next adventure.